crappy sounding mic. Crappy sounding mic. Yes, I know, it's a crappy sounding mic. But for reasons slightly beyond my control, for the 68th Gobbet Opus, I have to use an alternative microphone. This Gobbet Opus is called Good News in Bleak Times, from November 28th, 2008. Being an ID doc is not all roses and champagne. Not that the two go together. Work used to be busier. There used to be nosocomial infections and ventilator-associated pneumonias. But thanks to applying infection control procedures at my hospitals, I have ICUs that have gone for over a year without a ventilator-associated pneumonia. Damn. And my kids are reaching college age. New medications for transplant patients and GCSF has made infections and cancer in transplant patients a relative rarity. And don't get me started on AIDS. Thanks to heart and prophylactic antibiotics, I can go for years without seeing an opportunistic infection. I haven't seen cerebral toxoplasmosis or CMV retinitis this century. Oh, for the good old days. I was sliding into a funk about this grim future in infectious diseases when good news arrived from the United Kingdom. Measles is increasing. 1 in 4 have not had the MMR, and they are at risk for a measles epidemic as herd immunity to measles wanes. They estimate that England could see 30 to 100,000 measles cases. All right. The only downside is that this is a problem in England and it is in children. It's a good start, but what I need is an outbreak of an infection in United States adults. I need a really good epidemic of something, anything, infectious. Flu would be good, but it seems that the flu season was more benign than anticipated. The BBC credits the debunked vaccine autism link as the reason for poor vaccine uptake. In the United Kingdom, there was this fear of the measles vaccine due to an article published in The Lancet by a Dr. Wakefield that purportedly showed a correlation between the development of autism, receipt of the measles vaccine, and the presence of measles in the gastrointestinal tract of these children. This article has subsequently been withdrawn in its entirety from The Lancet as of February 1st, 2010. And the General Medical Council of England ruled that Dr. Wakefield had acted, quote, dishonestly and irresponsibly, end quote, in doing his research. And he acted with, quote, callous disregard for the distress and pain that the children might suffer, end quote. It was also noted that Dr. Wakefield should have mentioned the fact that he had been paid to advise lawyers who were acting for patients who believed that their children had been harmed by the MMR. Also, his study has not been replicated and is felt to have been such sloppy research that the results cannot be trusted. I hope that the anti-vaccine crew continue the good work here in America and we can have a plague or two here. It is said that the anti-vaccine wackaloons do not want children to get diseases, suffer, and occasionally die from vaccine-related infections. I'm also sure that tobacco farmers don't want their end users to get lung cancer, that gun manufacturers do not want children accidentally shooting themselves, and that alcohol producers don't want people to develop alcoholic cirrhosis. It just happens to be the end result of what they are selling. The green R vaccines folks say what they want are just safer vaccines. We can't get our vaccines much safer than they already are. What we will get instead are measles outbreaks and mumps outbreaks and rubella outbreaks, with all the concomitant morbidity and mortality of these diseases and others have to offer. It is the end result of what the green R vaccine folks are selling. The only thing that will be green from greening vaccines is the grass on the graves of the children who died from vaccine-preventable illnesses. The references for this podcast were the BBC News, where if it's said with an English accent, it must be true. See you next time, and hopefully I'll have a better microphone.